Hey guys, welcome to PhattChat. The best place to be Monday nights, 10 p.m. is right here.
Song, the future. One of these days I'm gonna be sitting at a table with 3 kids, and one of those kids is gonna call me out for buying a Call of Duty for a multiplayer.
I'm gonna take your mic. I'm gonna take your mic. I'm gonna do it. It's mine. It's mine now. You can
DLC.
You can have it back. Yeah. All right. I just kind of you jumped in, man. I like it.
But he dies. No, you pay $2,000. You just get really wasted, and wake back up with a. That's not true at all. Just like life now. They said you were in. You're gonna get memed again. Oh no, you. Let me
PhattChat. Welcome to PhattChat. I'm your host, Brandon. To my left is Mr. Joshua. How's it going, sir? Is that like lizard for really good?
Yeah.
Some chameleon shit.
There's a couple languages I'm fluent in that involve the tongue.
Nice.
Is one of them cunnilingus?
No, because I don't speak cunnilingus.
He speaks.
I speak a lesser
lizard.
known dialect analingus, but
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
How have you been, sir?
dude, pretty fucking good, man. I found the savagery. So I realized that PlayStation isn't like region locked anymore.
Yeah.
So I can play Japanese games. And that means all of the sweet Gundam games in Japan that are coming out for PS4.
You can get your
play.
hands on.
So I ordered one.
Nice.
But unfortunately, because it's not sold westernly, I have to order through one of those like trade websites.
So it's gonna take like a year to get here.
Yeah.
By the time you get it,
I bought it like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's like estimated arrival date February 23rd. I'm like, oh, happy late birthday to me. Fuck, it wasn't even my girlfriend's birthday when I bought it. Shit, like it was. But yeah, I got Gundam Breaker. Yeah, Gundam Breaker 3.
nice. Yeah.
At least eventually you'll get it, though.
Have you ever seen Gundam Breaker?
I have not.
Hell,
So
fucking
you,
yeah.
do, like little plastic models, and then you're playing like the little Gunpla plastic models in the game.
They're like.
And as you break them apart, you're gonna mix and match the parts like you're kit bashing, but you get a kit bash in the game.
Okay, that's
what's
pretty cool.
Gundam Build Fighters, the show.
No. Yeah, I know, but there's toys that look just like it. I was trying to think of what they were.
Gunpla.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm actually building one right now.
Nice.
At my,
Glad you knew what I was talking about
Yeah.
because I couldn't think of the name for the life of me.
Gunpla is short for Gundam Plastic Model, in case you were wondering.
I was exactly wondering. I was like, what does that stand for, Josh? But you just knew.
Gundam Plastic Model. Yeah, because I build them. I'm building a Char's Zaku 2 right now.
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Dude, each leg has like 40 moving parts, and it's such a pain in the dick, dude. Like
That's ridiculous.
My thumb is all cut up. Stuff. I'm sitting there with an X-Acto knife, shaving off pieces. I'm like, fuck, and I'm just like cutting into my thumb. Like,
It's too big. Beauty is pain.
if you're new and you have not known me, I am addicted to anything mecha.
True.
So Gundam, Mech Warrior, you fucking name it. If
Mechs
it's got
are his mecca,
Yeah.
you could say.
big robots
Oh.
and spaceships, dog.
Oh, that's your second punny today. I'm digging it.
I'm on point. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Over here to my right is Mr. James Cunningham. How's it
Hello,
going,
sir. How are you?
I am doing swell, actually.
Very good. Very good.
It's been a good day. What's up? I don't know. I was ready for this.
Good.
I wasn't scrambling as much as normal, but then I left a little bit of scrambling for Peter at the end because like that's just like normal.
That's how he do.
That's how.
That's
yeah.
how he do. To answer your question, though, I'm doing all right. A lot of bittersweet going on lately. Good
Did you
and
eat like
bad.
some dark chocolate or something?
No. I've been fighting for a long time with the VA and stuff too.
My whole last problem.
I've been fighting against the VA for a long time to get certain appointments, certain care, that kind of stuff, and I've finally been getting it after years of fighting them. And the results, I'm getting results, and that's great. But the results are not positive, so. Bittersweet. I'm getting the results, but they're not as I was hoping for.
So you're eating too much dark chocolate.
Indeed.
It's a problem.
Indeed.
So you got to cut back on the chocolate.
Absolutely. They said, James, no more dark chocolate.
More
Chocolate's
video games.
better for you than it is milk chocolate.
But it's
That's
a little
true.
bittersweet.
not really.
Actually,
I
yeah.
guess
It is
A little
definitely
bit,
bittersweet.
yeah.
To me, it's sweet because remember I like bitter stuff. Like
Yeah.
mostly
Actually,
alcohol.
He like dips his
So-
chocolate in vinegar before he eats
That's
it.
right. Well, if anybody dips their chocolate in vinegar, it's the guy to your immediate right.
Peter, how's it going, sir?
Good.
You were low energy. Peter, how's it going,
Good.
sir?
I'm going good. That reminds me
thank
of
you.
a story at my work, my day job. We sell this thing that like diagnoses your car. Basically, you plug it in,
Yeah.
you pay money for it, and it like checks your car. I saw one to one guy, and he comes back a week later. He's like losing his mind. He's like, "You fucking thing broke my car." Like it's not like I plugged it in. It tells me like this fucking like my alternator or something is like broken and it's bullshit and blah blah. I was like, no, your alternator was always broken. You plugged it in.
This
now
is
you
just
know
telling
about,
you.
Now you know about it.
Yeah, it was broken beforehand. Now you
It doesn't
know.
plug it in, and it's like a fucking CD
Yeah, yeah,
mechanic. It's
yeah.
like, your alternator's broken. It's gonna cost you $300 to fix it. Like, the
Yeah, but he's like, they
No,
gotta
it's
plug
just
this
your
thing
car
in.
is shit, bro.
Yeah, his car was shit, but apparently it was like my fault for putting it in there.
Yeah.
Telling him about
Telling
it.
him
He
it
was
was
like, I just don't
broken.
wanna- Yeah,
Yeah.
but he understood that. We got to the point where like I realized he knew that it was already broken. He just didn't want to know about it.
Well, that's just like if your phone was able to
Yeah.
diagnose your body and it said you have cancer, your phone gave me cancer.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
how-
right.
it's not how it fucking works.
It maybe did.
Knowing that though,
Yeah.
like if we had RFID chips that could like do that to us, it would be ran by MD. Everyone with cancer. We would just live in a society full of a bunch of like hypochondriacs.
Bubble suit. Bubble suit.
Well, it's okay. So I'm sure everybody in the world at one point in life has been like, WebMD, what's wrong with me? And it's
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
you're missing 2 legs. You're like, oh my god. Like, wait, no, they're here.
My
What
favorite one is that fucking meme.
The
with
one I
dog.
showed you, it's so I was showing Peter. I think I showed Josh the meme too. It was a while back. It's like this dog on like WebMD. He's like types in his symptoms. He's like, "What's wrong with me?" It's like, "You're a cat." Heck, he's so distraught. But like that's what it's like, right? So I'm sure there is value to it. I'm sure somebody uses it and is
But
like,
everybody
"Oh,
self-diagnoses with
I-
it like they're dying.
I've
I
never
actually-
gotten cancer. Half the time I look in there and it's like you got bad gas or irritable bowel syndrome.
Yep.
You're about to poop yourself or something.
But like further than that, like my doctor is online now, so like I just like log in and I get a doctor through a webcam. I have to go to the doctor's office anymore. It's
The
great.
extremes though on WebMD are like crazy, right? So you like type in your symptoms, right? And
You
it's
can use your
like
insurance.
I have
It's
left
still,
arm
it's
pain.
$20. with
Yeah.
my insurance.
You're dying.
it's like
Well, to Peter's point, your doctor's online. Like, what if? Okay, so do you have to like put your like butt on a dongle if you want to get like a prostate exam? It's like, all right, just spread your ass. Like,
if you need to get a test done, they order tests and you have to go to a lab. But,
They'd be like, stick a finger in there and tell me what you feel,
but if
Peter.
they're like, if you have like I have strep, you go in the webcam, they can see that you have fucking strep. Like, okay, they order you fucking prescriptions and like over the internet,
You don't
just
even
pick
have
them up
to-
like, down
yeah.
the street. Like, I, don't
you know,
have to
I
go
should be
anywhere.
an internet doctor. That doesn't sound very legit.
Yes.
At all.
it sounds as legit
Open
as
your mouth.
WebMD.
Oh, you got cancer. Give me my money.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
what I'm
take-
saying,
they
though.
take
Then
insurance and
again,
everything.
if
It's
I
great.
wanted to get paid to watch people spread their ass, I'd go edit porn.
Hey, you know what? Josh the oncologist. There we go.
I'd do it.
You know what I don't want to do is make an appointment and can like commit to a time in 2 weeks from now that I might not be able to, and then fucking go wait at a doctor's office and spend half my day. I can just fucking like.
Yeah,
log on,
that does
keep
sound
going.
pretty fucking
Takes like
excessive.
5 minutes, and I'm fucking on.
I despise the doctor.
yeah.
I do too.
Everybody does.
Going to the doctor is absolutely terrible. It's just like I hate being there. There's a bunch of sick people around you. You got to fucking wait. You make an appointment, and then your appointment, like you show up like 20 minutes before your appointment,
why
and it's
they-
like you have to wait a fucking half hour. I'm like,
My-
why did
my-
I even make an appointment then?
My dad taught me how to fix myself when I was sick. He used to drink half a bottle of NyQuil, drink half a bottle of whiskey, and pass out.
That shit works.
And
You
when
can't be sick
I think
when
I had
you're
you do the same
not
shit.
alive.
Dude. You drink your NyQuil, take a shot of whiskey.
Yep.
Keep a Gatorade by your dad. Bundle your
do the
shit
same
up,
thing.
Sweat your shit out, and when you wake up, fucking like drocked out, pound that fucking Gatorade.
Yes,
go
sir.
Back to sleep.
And you feel great when you wake
And
up.
when you fucking wake up, you're done. You're good.
Yep.
You're ready to go.
Or you just buck up and keep going because
No, I have things to do like sleep. Okay, first off, I schedule that I'm on. So if for reason I wake up at 4 a.m. every day to go to fucking work, no big deal, right? But we have to come here late at night, and like I always stay up because I'm a fucking gamer. I despise fucking sleep. I hate sleeping because there's so much other shit I'd rather be fucking doing.
hate sleeping. I
But
agree.
lately, I've been so fucking dragged out and like exhausted.
You know what's worse than sleeping? Like sitting there. So I was doing it the other day, and eventually I'm just like, I have to go to sleep. Where I'm like sitting there,
edging.
and I don't do anything. I just like I loop in a circle because I'm so tired. I was actually playing XCOM, and I sat there and I like went to one character and like I was like, all right, this is the move I want to do, but I want to make sure it's right. And then I like went to the next character
You're like,
and did
this
the
is the
same.
move I wanna
And
do,
then
but I wanna
eventually I
make
got
sure-
all the way. I did that like 3 times, and I was like, what the fuck?
You know,
I am sitting here doing
I'll
nothing.
spend,
like
when I'm tired, like I sit at the computer. I'm like, well, I want to play a video game, and I'll I'll go through my library. I'm like, none of these sound good. I'll shop on the store. I'm not gonna buy anything. I'll
You just
look on the
window
store.
shop on a
So
store.
I just go through the
you sit
fucking
there for a
Steam
fucking
store
hour?
for fucking an hour and a half until I look down. It's like 10:30, way past my fucking bedtime, and I'm like, and this whole time I'm like, man, I could have been playing Hitman. So I'll load up Hitman and play it for like a half hour till I pass.
and then go to sleep. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, let me ask you if you guys ever do this. You go to the bathroom at night. It's right before bedtime. You go to the bathroom. You do your business. You got your phone with you, but then you stand up because you're all finished. You're getting ready to walk out.
And wipe
you,
with your phone?
And you sit there with your phone. No. And then you sit there with your phone for like a half an hour before you realize that you're still standing in the fucking bathroom.
Nope.
And you need to get your ass in bed.
Nope.
You
I
guys
do
never
that.
do that?
No, I just wipe my
I do
phone,
that.
throw it in the fucking shower, and go to bed.
Just
So.
get a new phone.
There you go. Fuck it.
Move on.
Yeah.
Google Pixel.
XCOM 2, I've been playing it a lot. It's fucking fantastic. Peter, you need to play it because it's fucking great.
Have you lost anyone you love yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't lost anybody. I'm like on fucking point.
He's actually good at the game.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay.
Oh.
There was a point to this.
Did you get
Cruel.
the DLC?
No.
Okay, that's my problem. Is I got the fucking DLC halfway through a fucking save, motherfucker. And so you had those crazy ass monsters that come in.
Yeah.
It's a DLC.
Have you checked out Long War?
I
mod?
used to play Long War for the original Xbox.
So they just added Long War to XCOM 2, which is fucking great. So the mod just dropped, I think, like 2 days ago. And I want to fucking get that shit because it adds like, they said the story mission ups to like 100 to 150 missions. It adds like 12 new classes, like 4 new weapon classes, and then
Yeah, I think it ups your squad size by one.
you can run 2 squads actually
Yeah,
per mission, and then new aliens as well.
Yeah,
That's
the
fucking
alien
brilliant
types.
for mods.
Well, I think the Long War people, they've always been real good at doing the mods and stuff. I think they're actually making their own game.
Correct. Yeah, they are. So they made the first Long War. They just moved on to the second Long War, but they actually made their own studio, and then now they are working on their own game as well.
So it's because they love the challenge. They love the in-depth of it. So.
Correct.
I just learned that a club brother works for Firaxis Games, one of the guys in my club, but he just quit them. He had been working for them for the last 2.5 years.
So he doesn't work for them.
Well, he just quit, like today or yesterday.
Man,
Which I
if
thought
you
was
had-
weird.
If you had told me 2 days ago, you could have told me he worked for them.
I know, right?
Now you got to be like,
Wait, now he did work for
he's
them.
a fucking scrub.
Who once worked there?
What's up?
Lead,
I
grab
once
all
knew
that
a guy.
DLC.
That's right. Yeah, snag me some of those.
I just wish I would have known this like months ago. That'd have been awesome.
All right, guys, it is time for the news, though. There's a lot of cool news. This is everything important, interesting, and fun in gaming this past week. Death Stranding, Guillermo del Toro is not creatively involved in the game.
I didn't think it was.
I thought he was. I thought it was the thing.
So
buddy,
a lot of
buddy.
people thought he was. Yeah, filmmaker Guillermo del Toro has clarified his role in Hideo Kojima's new game, Death Stranding. He told IGN that he is not creatively involved, although he is in the trailer. So he goes on to say that I think it's going to be a fantastic game, 100%. But this is him and his ideas. I'm just a puppet in his hands. My contribution is limited to being a cheerleader for his ideas and being scanned for long hours of time. That's about it.
Scanned?
He's in the game.
Oh, okay. All right.
So like obviously they scan him. They do like
Right.
you know, the fucking they add the balls
guess
to him and do the
that's
mocap.
okay.
He's going to be the bad guy.
No, he's not the bad guy. The bad guy is
Dennis Nedry. It's Dennis Nedry. It's Maz Mikkelsen.
yeah. Is playing some kind of bad guy. Yeah,
Dennis Nedry's the fat guy.
Nicholson's
from Jurassic
awesome.
Park.
you're the fat guy from Jurassic Park.
Who the fuck you? You're Dennis Nedry. Hey, I'm gonna go down to the vending machine. You guys
Nobody cares.
If I'm anybody from Jurassic Park, I'm fucking what's his name?
Samuel L. Jackson.
The Chaos Theory guy.
Ian Malcolm?
Yeah.
No way.
If I'm anybody, come on.
You have to possess intelligence for that. buddy.
Shut up. Get out of here with that crap. But that's kind of weird because obviously Guillermo del Toro was
He was a nihilist, too.
he was a big part of the Silent Hill project that was that Hideo was working on. So obviously they are friends outside of that. You know, obviously they probably met. They are good friends. So when he left, he invited him over to that, but he is not creatively involved. This is purely Hideo's game. He's just there assisting.
He just hangs
How
out
he
in the studio
wants.
once in a while and says a few things.
Exactly. Yeah.
I bet you
They go to
it's
lunch
like the
together
same
every day, I'm
premise
sure.
is like when I would like write stories and stuff like that, I would like ping ideas off of people. And someone's like, well, what if this happens? I'm like, that's a cool idea, but I think I'm going to do this instead.
It's like Brandon's involvement. Like you're my creative director.
That's right. I just point And then,
But I
Peter
don't-
doesn't do it.
yeah.
He's like, that's a good idea of what not to do. Thanks.
Although, okay, so Peter's like, we should go this direction, and I'm like,
That's
we
pretty
should go
much
this
exactly,
direction,
actually. It's more
and
like,
then eventually
it's more
it like
Brand's like, we should do
turns
this.
him.
I'm like, yeah, I just don't do that. Brand's like, let's go to breakfast, like every day. We go do that. We hang out.
I love breakfast.
Breakfast
It's
is
fucking
boss. It's the
fantastic.
most important meal of the day.
It is the most important fucking meal of the
It's not
day,
the-
right?
It's not the meal I have a problem with. It's the
Cafe.
like we go out for lunch and then dinner as well, and then each one of those takes like 2 hours with Brandon.
So at my work, we have a cafeteria right
So it's like
below
6
us.
hours of just eating.
And,
You say that like that's a bad thing. I love to eat.
Oh, I
Okay.
get
They
it.
cook
Work
like
at some
3
point.
pounds of bacon every fucking morning, so my entire
It's like a whole
building
pig.
smells of fucking bacon. early
That's
as the
awesome.
morning. I'm also starving. They don't open until 6:30, and everything there is far too fucking expensive for us. It's like $20 for like a breakfast burrito. It's like it's got chorizo in it, and like
This is like your in-work cafeteria.
yeah. It's like a very expensive fucking gas station.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
they give you like free or discounted food at least if they're putting.
I'd be
gas-
showing
no,
up with
no.
bacon.
If
Show up
you
with
like
like bacon
bacon-
in a bag. and just
Is it like a third party that like?
Yeah, it's like a third party. It's like I don't know. I can't remember what is it, but
And I'm sorry, you said it's the same building or the building next door?
it's right below me.
Oh,
The
okay.
whole building smells of fucking bacon. As they open up the fucking door downstairs and it just wafts.
they
up.
let the bacon rise up. They're like,
So like 6:30
Let them come.
when I go to take my morning my morning work poop, it just smells like bacon.
Hey, you know what? That's a good time to poop.
Yeah.
Well, I smoke, so I'm regular as fuck. So I know exactly what's gonna happen. That's why I don't fucking stand how people who don't smoke. How do you know when you're gonna poop?
That's true.
I feel like I have to.
I think I talked to you about this on the same show. Like it's still to this day.
The string apparently is crashed.
I don't know what you're talking about. So okay, check this. Okay, so when I need to poop, okay, I eat an appropriate diet. First off, that's like step number one.
No, you don't. I've
Okay.
seen what you fucking.
I think every time I come here, you're eating a frozen pizza you cooked yourself.
You're like, what is this? Oh, it's a sandwich I made. That's just bread and sour cream. He's like, I know, it's delicious.
Let's get one thing straight. I have never eaten bread and sour cream sandwiches ever.
But it does sound kind of delicious now that you think.
It really doesn't. I'm not a huge fan of sour cream.
Whatever. But, yeah, I'm just saying the weird shit.
Do you eat weird shit? Okay, but I eat a lot of fiber. And that's just true. And that makes you poop.
Okay, it keeps you regular, but do you have a shit like every day exactly at a time? I can actually
right.
plan
Like-
my day around when I poop.
Apparently, according to and Hopeless says, Brandon, you always poop at least 20 minutes after you eat.
No, there's actually some truth to that.
That's
there you
because
go.
You gotta shove out what you put in.
See, you get it, right? Like, I put in some
Yeah,
new food.
absolutely.
It's pushing the rest out.
That's
I
why
gotta
they always give
poop.
shit to Cartman, because Cartman's always got diarrhea, and they're like, well, maybe you shouldn't eat so much, you fat ass.
I don't feel like pooping, and then I have my coffee in the morning. I go out for a cigarette, and I'm finish that cigarette. I'm like, nope, I'm gotta go.
You're like, it's time.
To Hope's point from last week, we always talk about dicks or poop at least once.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like that's like a staple now.
That's a
like,
fair assessment.
We've,
I mean, I could get way more vulgar. I'm just not doing
yeah,
it.
right. I feel like
As long as we
we're
don't talk about them at the same time. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
seems fair.
Dicks or poop. Dicks and poop.
Imagine if you poop from your dick.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, yeah.
You're like, hold on, I gotta take a shit.
In actual gaming news, the MPD Group has released its monthly U.S. sales reports for December, as well announcing the top-selling game of the entire year for the U.S.
Oh, let me
Do we
guess.
want to take gets?
Yes.
Guess.
For last year, right?
Yeah, 2016.
Top selling game.
Top selling.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley. You're way off.
For one.
Damn it.
You're close, but off.
Please don't tell me Call of Duty.
No.
Infinite Warfare.
God,
Call of Duty
okay.
Infinite Warfare.
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was the top-selling
Oh
game
my
in
God!
2016.
Why?
Everyone trashed on it. They're like, I'm gonna trash on it, but I'm gonna buy it.
I'm
so I
gonna
can
buy
trash
it.
on
It's every year.
Yeah, that'll show them.
Every fucking year. Every
would
year, everybody bitches about Call of Duty. Everyone buys it, and then everyone's
Well,
pissed
now,
off about
is
it.
This by,
every
is this
year.
by per unit or dollar amount?
Well,
Because it's a
not
$90
everyone
game.
reports, first of all. Not
Motherfuckers need to fucking vote with their wallet from now on.
It's true.
Nobody has any fucking statistical for it.
Sure.
Dude. It's horseshit. Like, we keep telling people, don't fuck about Call of Duty, and everyone, like, says they won't, and they go buy it anyway.
Yep.
So they don't buy the fucking Switch, and everyone's like, I'm gonna buy
I'm gonna go buy
Nintendo.
it.
'cause I'm
They've
gonna drop-
sold 40
I have $300
million
drop.
of them or something like that. Some of them are a little skewed though because this is a combination of physical and digital.
Again,
now,
it's not everyone doesn't report. Some
Correct.
people don't release their numbers. I don't have to.
well, that's the thing is so Overwatch is on here on number 7, but that is not including BattleNet sales, which is obviously probably accounts for a large amount of
I would say so.
Overwatch's sales. So they still hit number 7 with that. So the list is number 1, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. 2, Battlefield 1. 3, The Division. 4, NBA 2K17. 5, Madden NFL 17. 6, Grand Theft Auto 5. 7, Overwatch. Remember, no Battle.net sales, though, are related there.
Still up there.
8, Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Damn.
9, FIFA 17. And 10, Final Fantasy 15.
Then they bought it because of Modern Warfare Remastered. I feel like that's exactly what I'm talking about, Testicular Fortitude. If they put that game in there, you know they're putting it in there
To sell the game.
to sell the game.
Yeah.
And just on principle alone, you shouldn't buy it because of that. If they put it out by itself and said for $20, $30, you can buy it by itself.
If no one bought it, they would have
like-
released it by itself.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% would have.
But you guys bought into their fucking scam and it worked. So
If they had released that, that would have been the top selling game, 100%.
yeah.
Yes, it
The,
would have.
the Call of Duty
But there's no
Remastered,
Testicular
100%.
I
Fortitude
would
at
have
all.
admittedly
Like-
bought it.
I would
would've bought it too.
I would
I
have
would've bought
if
it
they
too.
released it for 20, 30
That's
bucks.
back
yeah.
when the shit was pure.
Domination on the bog. I'll play that 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like Battlefield Bad Company was Bad Company 2 was my favorite Battlefield ever. And if they like wrapped it in the fucking next one, I still wouldn't buy it just because of that.
Yeah, you
It
would.
doesn't matter.
You
No.
buy every Battlefield.
No. But if they released Battlefield by itself for like $40, Battlefield Bad Company 2, fuck yeah, I'd buy it.
Now, if
I'm
they-
so happy it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One now.
But if the game, I'm saying if like Battlefield 5, whatever is shit, and they throw Battlefield Bad Company 2 in there just to sweeten it, I'm not
That's-
gonna spend $60 just for that game.
That's saying Battlefield 5 is going to be shit. Which do you
not.
think? Yeah, that's my
Right.
point.
yeah.
That's my
We
point.
don't know that for sure.
But regardless, you shouldn't like.
Battlefield 1 was shit.
It's like pre-ordering. Don't fucking pre-order for a little
Battlefield
trinket
was
and a
great.
sticker or a badge. Just fucking buy the game because it's a good game.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna,
See, this should go to show you just because it's popular don't mean it's good.
but there's a lot of people who
That's
argue
100%
that
true.
if I know I'm going to buy the game already,
Sure.
then I can pre-order and get the extra flair
Sure, why not? But
and pay it off slowly over time, which honestly is a valid argument, right? So a lot of
don't
people,
do it just because of the trinkets.
of course, but
Like-
a lot of people do have trouble saving money.
So buy it off Amazon, they don't charge till it ships.
I get it, but
Or
but
having
that's my
disposable
point, though.
income.
Yeah,
well,
some people
clearly
might not
people
have.
have a problem fucking saving money if they're spending $90
Yeah.
to get
Video
fucking
games.
I get it.
Video games are a luxury. Like
They are.
There's no like crying about it.
Oh, trust me, I've had arguments with
Yeah.
people about this where people are like, "No, it's a necessity." I'm like, "No, fuck you, it's just not." Like,
It's
there's
the most
a,
useless thing on earth.
There's a lot of things. That's definitely not the most
Most
useless
useless.
thing.
Yeah.
Toes,
You know what I mean, though.
toes are more useless than video games, sir.
Nipples on men. are
Yeah.
more
Now
useless.
that's more
Male
useless.
nipples,
Tits on a
earlobes.
boar.
Earlobes. What's
All
the
right.
point of earlobes,
Okay.
sir? Yeah, you don't have a fucking.
Things you don't need to have in your life. How about that?
I don't need earlobes.
Oh,
in
for
my
fuck's
life. That's my point.
Video
okay?
games have like therapeutic
Then
like,
you would just have
things. There's other reasons for it.
Yeah, of
but,
course
like,
there
it is a luxury.
Yes, it's very much a
So, like,
luxury.
I love you're over here like thinking about it, like how people would look without earlobes.
You're like, I don't need my
Are you?
taint.
You're like, are you fucking crazy?
No,
Of
I
course.
need my tank. Nobody else needs it.
No, but I agree. It really surprised me that Infinite Warfare. I knew it, 100%. I knew it would be on the top 10 because it always is. Because people always fucking buy.
Kardashians. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah.
That's fair.
Everybody always buys Call of Duty, and that's whatever. That's if you're gonna buy Call of Duty and you enjoy it and you want to play it, then play it and have fun, and then just admit to buying it and just be like, you know what,
But they
I
keep
like
going
this
through a
game.
cycle, and you know what?
Yeah.
They keep making crappy ones in the future. You know why? Because you keep buying them.
Yep.
They don't give a shit what you say on Facebook. They
Yep.
care if you're spending your money.
Correct.
And you're still spending your money.
Everybody, if every year Call of Duty got a 0 out of 10, but every year it was the number one selling
still keep
game,
making it.
they wouldn't give a shit. They would just keep recycling and putting out the same garbage
That's
year
actually
after
exactly
year.
what they're doing.
Yeah, except for it gets rated decent and it sells
Less and less every
fantastic.
year, but-
And like, but the point is, it is the number one selling game in the U.S. of all of 2016.
It'd be Minecraft. Was Minecraft on there?
No.
Minecraft wasn't on there. I didn't believe
Nope.
that at all.
You know what I saw the other day? Minecraft's on the Wii U now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been on there for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
but it's garbage. Don't buy it on the
Yeah.
Wii U.
Oh yeah,
Buy it
absolutely
on
not.
any other console ever.
just
No,
buy
get it on
PC.
a fucking PC.
There you go.
Speaking of PC gaming hardware revenue hits $30 billion in 2016, setting a new record.
I read a
Outstanding.
report that like PC gaming was lower than ever.
PC sales are lower than
Oh,
ever.
PC sale hardware itself.
PC gaming hardware is the highest it's ever been.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was actually what was so crazy about this is overall PC sales have seen
We're
a
talking about like Razer keyboards and stuff like that.
yep, you know, gaming
Parts.
graphics cards,
Right.
Probably
That
part,
fucking chair you sit in and it drives you around.
part of that is probably half by me.
Yeah.
Because I like keep buying just
Yeah.
random crazy things.
shit you don't need.
No, I
Um,
exactly need those.
I need a new HOTAS, so I will be purchasing one this year.
A new what?
Throttle. Throttle
Oh.
and stick.
Nice.
But they went on further to show percentage-wise. So 43% of that 40 billion is actually coming from high-end PCs. People snagging those. 35% are mid-range, and only 22% are actually low-end PCs. So the people who are investing in them are actually investing more than anybody else. They're the ones.
2% is me.
Yeah, exactly. 2% of that is just Peter. They should just add it to this pie graph here. But that's actually cool. So like we were saying, though, so PC sales in general are declining, kind of across the board.
Which is not surprising.
But gaming PCs are increasing, which is crazy because this is actually showing that the $30 billion that they anticipated hitting was not supposed to. They didn't trend that to happen until 2018. It hit in 2016, so it's actually growing 2 years quicker than they had originally tracked. Once again, that's just gaming stuff for it. The largest area they said has actually been in Asia, of course, but that has actually risen the low-end PC more than anything else. In Europe and North America, high-end PCs are the big deal. And the idea is that in Asia, people buy the low-end gaming PCs, and they normally buy it for one game. That's the thing. So they get one game that they really want to play. They want to play their Dota. They want to play their League of Legends. They want to play one thing. And on that one thing, they just get a PC that's solid enough to play it, keep up with the updates, and then that's it.
Especially with like, obviously the competitive gaming scene's taken off in the last few years.
Correct.
Now everyone's like, well, to be better at fucking League of Legends, I need a $400 keyboard, obviously. So
No, that's not true.
well, that's the mentality behind it, I'm sure.
Part of this actually is what he was talking about. I mean, not necessarily that situation, but
You know how you get better at League of Legends?
not to get better at
Fuck,
League of
kill
Legends.
yourself.
But the price here, the 30 billion, is including like accessories and shit like that.
Yeah.
Keyboards, mice, and stuff like that. So they're saying that a lot of this is because esports is getting more popular.
True.
Because esports is getting more popular, people want to play on console gamers want to now get to the mouse and keyboard because they are trying to.
It's also gaming. Gaming equipment itself is also getting a little bit more expensive. So.
It's true.
cheaper than ever.
You
Holy
fucking
crap.
tag a fucking Razer. Did you say cheaper than ever?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I was saying, but it's like brand name stuff. I'll agree with you. It is cheaper than ever. It's also very numerous.
The
but
1080 is more powerful than the Titan, which was $3,000 2 years ago.
Slap a fucking Razer on something, and the price goes up like $100.
It's worth it.
Like, my promo key is fucking.
Dude, I fucking love my keyboard.
The keyboard's the best thing I've ever fucking bought
Ever.
ever. Oh,
Have you seen the macros and stuff you can install yet?
yeah,
You can actually install like programs for the keyboard, like Stardew Valley, like shows your health in different colors.
Yep, across
And
the top.
The
yeah.
keyboard will change.
I have
according
I have one as a music video visualizer, where if I play music, it'll play
Oh,
on
yeah.
the keyboard.
to it.
Yep.
Mine does like when I have different programs set for different things, but when I'm like coding, it does like little Pikachu electric sparks all across it.
I like to like color it myself and stuff, and I've been able to use. I have a situational one where as the color on the screen changes, my keyboard will change the color.
That's cool.
So it like extends my peripheral vision, so it changes the color, which is real cool. It's real cool for Elite Dangerous when everything's like orange below me and it's orange on my keyboard.
Nice.
You get crazy, like in Grand Theft Auto when the cops are chasing you, can have like flash red and blue and shit.
Yep, you can get fucking nuts with it.
The best thing that I saw is like when you were saying completely customize it for anybody playing like MMOs. That'd be great because I was saying like all your attacks you could like style red, all your defensive stuff you could style
like,
blue.
When I play
like,
Arma.
You were showing me that on your fucking keyboard at your house. She's got everything fucking color
They
coordinated
go
on
even
that thing.
further with like Final Fantasy. It's a plugin you can have, and then like you can have like your spells and stuff to one color. but,
Correct.
Like you use it goes yellow, and when it's ready to be used again, it changes back to that color. Like
You can set up with a timer.
yeah.
not even time it,
I,
but like it reads from the game. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
knows,
you
like,
can
it's
read it from
plugged
the
into
game. I could do that for some
Oh,
things.
the internet might actually have just gone down.
Uh-oh.
God damn it.
I'll talk to him.
I don't know. I think that's really cool. So that just shows though that gaming in a lot of ways is actually driving and keeping a lot of these companies and stuff alive. So a lot of PC builders and stuff like that are actually now focusing a lot of their product on gamers. Because
I mean, that's just where PC. Yeah, PC gaming's taken off. Nope.
Yep. That's the thing though. Exactly. It is taking off. It's becoming more popular. It's becoming
Taylor says we're good.
more interesting for people. So it's good for these companies now to look at gamers not as a side product, like, oh, we're gonna release this for the masses, and then we're gonna release a small line that might be good for gamers.
Gaming's obviously it's a business, and
Yep.
it's all encompassing. There's so many moving parts within the monster that is gaming as a business goes. And I guess that PC gaming is kind of like the bleeding edge of where we can experiment with these technologies, and especially like look at VR.
Yeah.
I think VR might have been a huge part of that too.
Oh, it's very possible. Yeah, I didn't even think of
Because
that.
if people want to be able to run it on their systems.
Fucking $800.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then you have to upgrade your PC.
Yep.
And then you have to have the cameras, the boxes.
Yep.
And so I feel like I think VR was probably
I'd say that's a fair assessment.
so.
Yeah, no, that's good. But once again, I like that gaming
I'm
is.
surprised that we didn't really get into VR yet.
I did. I got
super
PlayStation.
excited
He did.
And I like, there was always different options of getting into it. I figured we'd probably get the PlayStation, but we have literally like just the Samsung thing.
We both
I-
have PCs that are
like-
good enough to run a.
I just have no
an
desire. Like
HTC,
it's so
like-
cool, but I don't
I
like
do.
need to buy those.
I want an
anymore.
HTC
More X-Wing.
Vive more than fucking anything else.
No, as I'm saying,
More X-Wing.
both of our computers will run HTC. The Vibes,
Yeah,
totally.
mine will too.
Yeah, so-
in fact, like
I'm not saying I
can
don't want to. I'm just surprised that we
play,
haven't.
play
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous on it. I
Mm.
want to play Onward on it. There's a slew of really cool VR games that I want to play, but like even for like the PlayStation, though, you have to buy like the fucking Move, which is like $100. And
Yeah.
it's a pain in the fucking dick like that. But I like my PlayStation VR. I've actually been trying to set it up on my PC,
Nice.
but
Have they got it to where you can plug it in yet?
well,
PC?
you can get you can download like a driver or whatever.
It's not protected
No, because the developers have to use it on the PC.
to develop for it, but I mean, I didn't know
You
could,
can, so you just what you do is you plug it in, and then you have a driver that keeps the box on, and then there's gyros inside of it that allow you to move. I can move. It's just getting the PC to talk to my fucking eyes.
Is the problem?
Is the problem. So you have to get like two programs. One allows the PlayStation to work, and the other one makes it 3D. And then I have to work both of them together, but they're both paid for. And so I don't know the reason I'm fucking up is because I'm in the trial version, or I'm just doing it wrong. And there's a lot to it. And then I don't
kind
know
of a
the whole
messy
fucking
hack.
setup because it just kind of gives you this like shit diagram. Just set it up like this, but it's like a laptop. I'm like, oh, fucking laptop. Where do I
I'm
put
sure you'll
this shit?
figure it out, though.
I tried. I kind of gave up on it. I figured I was just do it on the PlayStation. So.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't, because I don't need it. I don't fucking need it on the PC. It's
All you
just
want to
one
play
of
is X-Wing anyways.
Yeah.
That one X-Wing mission.
super
Hey,
good.
all
that
you
one
wanna do.
X-Wing mission is fucking
It's
amazing.
20
Oh, I
minutes-
agree.
It's 20 minutes of fucking absolutely worth it.
I agree. It's fantastic. I'm just saying you don't need it on anything else because that's all you want to play.
I want to play Eve Valkyrie Battlezone.
Eve Valkyrie was great, actually.
That studio actually just got shut down, right? Yeah, the studio got shut down.
Is the not the whole mother studio though, just the one that made.
Yeah,
Valkyrie?
yeah. The one that made Eve Valkyrie.
Eve Valkyrie's not
Fuck.
gonna
So,
get.
so does that mean every single part of it is just going to be like unsupported?
Yep,
or?
unsupported. They already said there's no more updates for it. Nothing.
Wow.
What you got is what you got.
That
Ugh,
sucks.
I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Especially after that big deal they
I
made
don't
of it
also
at
don't understand why
PSX.
that fucking game is $60, considering you have to. It's like Eve, where you still have to buy shit in game.
Ooh, it's rough.
Like, so I fucking hate.
And you
those
did that
shit
for
like
way too long in Eve.
Just like
On that
that's gonna
point,
be really
uh,
hard for that. Like the whole, we always have this chicken before the egg thing. Like, do you make games for the system that there's no like support for, or do you like? buy the
I'm glad
system
that I
there's no
got it
games
now
for?
though,
Like,
in
but this-
its infancy, so I can see where
Yeah.
it goes. And
But this is like, do we make a game for a piece of hardware that isn't supported yet? That you need another piece of hardware for, which like
right.
it's the chicken before the egg.
Yeah.
That's why I think that VR as a whole doesn't belong on consoles.
Yeah.
Because on PC you have so many fucking indie developers that are just making VR games now.
That's the
Yeah.
problem with peripherals in general, is they're only for one specific game usually.
You
or
have
only
to-
for one specific system.
Yeah,
like,
so you have to already
such
have
a
that
limited
system.
purpose.
Then you have to buy that peripheral, and then you have to
buy
pick from the
games
games
for
from
that peripheral.
Yeah, so it's like you're continuously narrowing the path that you're going to walk. So
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of games out there that just have VR support. Like Elite Dangerous example. It's the
Yeah.
same fucking
why I
game,
think,
same
like-
stuff. I just put a VR headset on and I'm a shit.
For PC,
Yeah.
that's obviously the best way. Until when it comes down in price, I think it'll be the most popular. But I think in general, like the best space for VR is not going to be games in the end. It'll be other.
oh no,
things.
100%.
So-
We've talked about that.
Yeah, we talked
before.
about that.
It's
Yeah.
very interesting, and I love like playing the
Yeah.
experiences on it. But like that's not the future. of
Medical
VR.
research, all that kind of stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
the stuff like they showed on the E3 stage when Microsoft was doing the HoloLens demo, people like doing actual like work and projects with
Yep.
it. Like that's awesome. Like if you could just design things on the fly.
Even just simple shit. So a lot of people do schooling from home, right? Imagine if everyone just like threw on a headset and then you were in a classroom, like with a teacher and
Exactly.
everything. And that teacher is sitting at home also with just a VR. So teachers working from home, kids are working from home.
That'd be
Everyone's in a
really
space
cool,
that they're
yeah.
very comfortable with, but you're in a classroom. You feel like you're still there, like you're learning. When you're done with class, you don't have to get in your car, drive home, carry your textbooks, do all that. All you do is pop it off, you're on your computer already. You start typing away and do. So there is so many more applications, like you said, medical research and stuff like that.
All kinds
People,
of stuff.
practicing doing.
I think gaming will always be like
Yep.
a cool part of it, but that's
Yep.
all it is. It's a cool part of it.
Yep.
And until we get to the point where it's like,
It's a part that I like. So.
yeah, it's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna become like a hardcore area until
No,
we're,
it'll,
like,
it, no, it
until we get
never-
like full like just like touch. You're in the Matrix and you're like playing a fucking holodeck
Sword Art
thing.
Online shit.
Yeah, like
No, they won't. It's not like I don't think VR has ever strived to be the next console. I think VR is always just like example. The PlayStation VR right now is a series of experiences with a few games.
Correct.
coming
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
And more and more stuff is starting to come out for it, which is cool. But unfortunately, a lot of it requires a move, and I just don't want to fucking play it. So,
you can
No
use
job
move
simulator
controls
for
like,
you.
probably less than $20 for a pair.
where?
The Devil's Place, first of all, for
Yeah.
sure.
At
It's
used
so
places.
Oh,
That
no,
may or
it's
may
like
not
they
cavort with the
fucking
devil.
bumped that shit
Yeah,
up
they've
to,
got.
like,
I'm sure they've
fucking-
gone up
Yeah.
now.
They're like-
because
they're like
we were there. It was
40.
like $7
when
for
I
the
was
other
there,
one,
I
and like
saw
$9 for
one.
the other one.
When I saw one, it was like 15 for one, and they only had one. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I could just go to another place and get another one for $30.
I'll find out right
And I
now.
went back and I looked, and it was like fucking $40.
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Those
dude?
things
Dude,
are like
those-
garbage. We had so many, like they couldn't even fit in the rack. We were just like,
They just want to
Yes.
throw them away.
put them
It
in a
was
box, hide 'em in
horrible.
a corner.
Yeah.
They were,
So horrible.
No, we give
Yep.
them away. They were
He's
like,
right.
oh my god,
they were like
Yep.
fucking goodies, just to, like throw
This
at
one's still
people.
cheap,
Like just
but that
walk
one is
away.
not.
Please take it. So
that's terrible. That
Yeah.
one's literally just a light bulb, and that one's the one that actually controls stuff. So the one
Yep.
that has all the buttons and switches on there is $5.99, but the one that's literally just a big light bulb with a
Yep.
plastic thing on it is
Yep.
$40.
It was ridiculous.
yep. Doesn't surprise me because that's the piece you need now.
Yep.
That's it. All right, yes, that was the news.
I wonder if I can make
Yeah, news.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, it's just a fucking like blue LED.
That was everything interesting, fun, and cool in video game in the past week. Now it's time, you guys, for something serious.
Serious.
So I'm going to bring up something. We've talked about it multiple times, right? We've even
What?
probably done something serious about it, but I want to bring it up because it just re-entered. It just re-entered like a topic, right? People are talking about it again.
The thought process.
Yeah,
The
women in video games.
Yes.
So there's recently been a TED Talk that's been making the rounds with the actress Ashley Judd, who took a stab at video game industry, saying that they are profiteering off the misogyny in video games must end. So this article is actually written really well. I was actually really surprised by this article because normally in these articles it's either one way or the other.
The Ashley Judd?
Yeah, the Ashley Judd. Yeah, she took a stand on this, saying that profiteering from misogyny in video games must end. She said, I am so tired of hearing people talk about Gamergate when they're still making billions of dollars off of games that maim and dump women for sport.
Should give examples.
No, she did not. So that's actually what this article goes through and actually talks about a lot of that, how she is casting very wide.
I mean, she's right, but like she's gonna make a specific point.
Correct. And then he even goes on later on to say like there's other people that I disagree with.
Her family is one of the most powerful, influential female strength families in the country
So she's-
ever.
In what, country music?
Well, not
the
just
fuck
in
is
country
Ashley
music,
Judd?
but Ashley Judd was a singer with her family for a while, but then mostly she's known for being an actress.
Okay, so it is an
But her
actual
sister,
Judd.
Winona Judd,
Yeah.
she's an actual Judd. They are super powerful female everything. They've done acting, they've done singing,
Never
they've
played
done
video games, So she's
everything.
not really a video game. So she's just being upset to be upset.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
So he even goes on to say like there's plenty of people who I maybe disagree with.
they're very strong
But
women.
those people are people who they give facts, they give reasons. So
was her thesis, video games make billions of dollars by misogyny?
quote, profiteering off misogyny in video games must end.
Okay.
End quote.
That's
New
what-
quote.
That's fine.
I'm so tired of hearing you talk to me about how deplorable Gamergate was when you're still making billions of dollars off games that maim and dump women for sport. End quote.
Okay.
So one game that does that.
I haven't played very many games where you get a maim.
Me neither.
women,
Or
but I
dump
would
them
like to
for
play
sport. So he actually goes on to say that he's assuming she's talking about Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah.
Which he says is a low hanging fruit when it comes to video games.
Okay, well, then obviously she missed the fucking point of Grand Theft Auto.
Yep. Well,
Which,
so he
number one, Grand Theft Auto wasn't designed to be like, look at these fucking tits. It was designed to be like, look at yourself.
yeah. So
Look at fucking America.
So he
Look what
goes
you've
into it and he
become.
says the game In the game franchise, players can do just about anything they want, from shooting at police officers and civilians, stealing cars, killing prostitutes, and taking their money. The last one gets a lot of play in the media, but represents only a very tiny and optional activity in the open world crime series, which he's right.
That's not why you play the game.
He also
Can't
goes
even
on.
shoot your gun in the strip club anymore, so you actually can't even.
No, you can't even pull it out.
Yeah. He even goes on to say that in Grand Theft Auto and in all video games, men die more often than women anyways.
Yep.
So the fact that like women can die.
To be fair, though, we can't like stand here on a pedestal and pretend like
Okay.
the industry's okay. It's not like there's
Well,
obviously
No,
no,
that's
no.
fair. You're right. You're
There's
right.
I
obviously
just don't
problems.
think
She's
that
just
we're the
got
right.
nothing-
But if you made it so that women couldn't be killed in gaming, that would make them angry as well.
Sure, but
So-
I mean, like there is plenty of cases where women aren't put in like a fair light, or
That's
treated
true.
wrongly,
That's
but
true.
She's got nothing to do with it.
No,
This
she
is-
doesn't.
This is actually the part of the article that really, so the whole article was written really well. First off, right? He makes a lot of good points. He references people that he necessarily disagrees with, but have established good, like, hey, these are actual facts. These are actual things that have happened. These are women who have been, over sexualized. This is times when sexism has been a real thing in video games. She's obviously just blowing smoke trying to get attention, right?
We're also on a really large turning point.
Yeah.
Yes, we
so he
are.
goes on too to say that's not to say that there is not a problem with sexism in video games. Sexism is a real issue that exists within our media, from movies to music to games, because these are things that reflect the real world. Sexism doesn't stem from video games. Video games, like films and novels, are a statement about the world in which we live in. So I think that boils down to the truth. What he's saying is that sexism doesn't exist in video games because
Sexy
of the
blocks.
people who make video games. Sexism exists in video games because it exists in our world.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't exist in our world, though, and just because it does doesn't mean it has to exist in video games. And they're getting
Correct.
better at it. Like it's
Correct.
growing a lot.
But if you want to have a more realistic setting, a more realistic game, that's the kind of thing that you have to have.
Well, that's the whole point of games. Games aren't realistic. They're escaping reality.
Right, but most people want them to be as realistic as possible.
But to address this situation, if you genuinely want this situation to get better, the way to do it is not to point fingers and to say
No.
you guys are evil, you guys are bad.
Maybe
Not,
that was the argument maybe fucking 10, 20 years ago,
yeah,
sure.
not
But if
not
anyone,
even to be
like-
political, but it's the same way with like a political party, right? To just point at either side and just say you're wrong, you're bad because you don't agree with me is just stupid. You have to
Like-
talk. You have to bring up.
If anyone,
what's
though,
going
like
on.
we as a community should be pointing fingers at ourselves.
correct.
We're the ones like we have a problem. We need to fix it, rather than like
We need to open dialogue.
I'd be
I think
like,
what a lot of
fucking-
people are upset with when it comes to women in video games is a lot of times when women are put in video games, regardless of the realism and the way it is, but it's they're put in the video game to be the object of a player's desires. Example: The Witcher. The only women in there, you might, Trish is a badass, or fucking whatever the other Gwen is.
Yen.
She's a badass, or like that. But the only reason they're in the fucking game is that's someone for fucking Geralt to lust after. But that's from the
no,
story.
because they are pivotal parts of the
They're
story.
pivotal parts of the
That's a
story,
story you're
but
telling,
you
though.
he's still lusting after him, regardless if you're playing.
But
or not.
okay,
True.
there
Okay,
is
and you don't defend it. Because
True.
That's
No, I said
exactly what's
true.
happening. But a lot of people are like, oh, well, fuck the video game for making it. But what they hardly realize is that was a fucking book.
yeah.
Like, it was
And on
written
top
by
of
some
that,
Polish person.
That is a story you're telling. So like that story, like those women weren't put in there to just be objects for the video gamer to look at. Those were in there for the character that you're playing as
Right.
to lust after.
But
Whether that
I'm
character
looking
is a
from
good
their-
guy or a
you're
bad
arguing
guy.
with me, and I'm not
Yeah, I-
disagreeing you.
I
But what
get
I'm
it.
telling you is that's what they see.
Yeah.
What they don't see is the fact that if you actually fucking play through the game, you see that number one, yes, they're pivotal. Number two, they do operate on an independent level, a very fucking emancipated level.
Oh, yes.
Okay, of their own thing. And the desires for the player, regardless of their, half the fucking time they turn his ass down. They're like, fuck off, we got work to do, motherfucker.
So you're speaking from a devil's advocate position then. Why they view it that way?
And
I see what you get. I see what you're saying.
they see, but you can't use that as like one example. There are like Duke Nukem. That's a great example of fucking,
Yeah.
That's super misogyny.
Yep.
That's he's a bigot, obviously.
Yep.
That's Duke Nukem in a nutshell.
But that's okay. Not saying it's right or wrong, but that's who that character is. So
that's who that character was, and that's why when Duke Nukem fucking came out again by Gearbox, which has the most fucking like liberal affirmative fucking people working for them I've ever fucking seen in my life nowadays. But you have like the whole fucking like there's a couple people and like the whole Gamergate thing that was in the middle of that. It was fucking stupid. First off, Gamergate, if you don't know what it was retarded. Don't look it up.
Very retarded.
No, you should.
No, it's actively still retarded.
You should look it up though. You should
people-
know this is part of like the gaming. This is part of gaming history that almost ended gaming. Like you should go look at
The people who
Gamergate.
like are on the other side of the fence are like so disgusting. The fact that they exist, just like it's
You
a
know,
rash. It's a pimple on
your
our
guys'
side.
thing is he's meant to be over the top. He's meant to be a bigot, and I understand that's what you're saying. That worked back then, but
Yep.
you try to do that shit nowadays. Like, look at this over the top fucking character. You're gonna piss a lot of people off. I'm not personally pissed off because I'm a fucking adult and I can control my adult emotions about it.
Well, that's why I like
And
about
I'm not
video
a
games, we can
fucking
be more
infant
like
or
that.
some sexually retarded fucking non-binary piece of shit. Okay, I fucking understand when something's over the top. I understand when something's satire. I fucking read, but I read smut when I was a fucking kid. My dad used to have porno novels. Like, I know when shit's over the fucking top.
He read it for the articles.
you know. But do I think that it's right? No, it's not right. You know, it's not a right thing. That's the character. Is that a right way to treat women? No, I'm not gonna fucking throw money after them and be like, you should touch my package, lady. Like, no, I'm not that fucking, and I'm not that fucking guy. Like that's, and I think
No, you're not. Not at all.
When it comes, what they want is just to have a fair fucking chance. And I think that when you sit there and fucking attack gaming for being this, it's an old, tired fucking argument, and you're beating a dead horse because video games aren't fucking made overnight. Okay, it takes years to make fucking something. Things change.
Millions of man hours.
Yeah,
Like
and things
Yep.
change. Okay, so the person who's making a game, who's ties like maybe they're making right now the whole fucking election in the U.S. they're gonna make a game that has like the allegory to what's going on. In 4 years, it's not gonna fucking matter when the game actually comes out. And everyone's like, I don't understand the narrative of this fucking game. It's an old, tired fucking argument, and it needs to stop because honestly,
No,
it's gotten a lot better.
Doesn't
It
need to
doesn't- it
stop.
doesn't need to stop.
If we stop and just ignore it, then it doesn't
well, no,
exist.
not ignore it. But
We are the ones that need to talk about it, not
we
anyone
need to-
else. And we need to talk
the
about
people
like, what
in
we,
the
yeah, the
people
people in the gaming
in the
industry.
industry, the people who buy the
we
games,
wanna- we
make
need
the
to-
games,
exactly.
play the games.
We need
We're-
to define what we want to be, and if we want
Yep.
to be those pigs, then sure enough.
But then-
we
but
need to
then-
say that we don't want to be like this, and we need to move in that direction
Yep.
together. It doesn't matter what anyone else
no,
outside
no,
says.
Excuse me, it doesn't need to stop, but we need to have a different conversation.
We need to have a
we need to have a
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
It needs to not just be one side pointing and saying you're like this, and the other side saying no, we're not. Fuck you, because that's not a conversation. That's two people yelling at each other. We're not trying to change each other's minds.
again?
We're not trying to excite each other. We're not trying to do anything. All we're trying to do is yell and scream at each other, just being retarded, right? And that's not getting us anywhere, obviously, right? So. Ashley Judd coming up and just blaming people who make games and claiming you are profiting, you are making billions of dollars by making this game.
can't generalize
That's
this
absurd.
argument.
Yeah, because there was millions of people who were making games with very powerful. Look at fucking Horizon Zero Dawn coming
fucking
out.
Her story.
That
you
game-
have fucking.
But there are lots of games that
millions
do
of them.
degrade women in a bad light.
There
that aren't
is.
good,
There
and we need to
are.
call them out
Yep.
and draw
And
attention
exactly,
to it.
we just
Yep.
need to
Say
have a
we-
different
say
conversation.
We
we
need to
don't
have
accept
an
this.
open conversation. We need to vote with our wallets
we
and
need
say
to
this is not what we
say
want.
us in the community, in our community, we
Yep.
don't accept that. It doesn't fucking matter if Donald Trump doesn't fucking like it. It's
Yep.
not his fucking community.
Yep.
It's ours.
It doesn't matter if Ashley Judd fucking likes it, because you know what?
Yep.
If you're not a gamer, you're not the ones investing in this. You're just being offended to be offended. Like, fuck off. I don't give a shit what you think.
We were there for last year, not this PSX, but the year before, when Neil
Yep.
Druckmann was talking
I mean,
about
look
that
at
exact
the-
problem on stage. They have people now, like there's a good person that works at Santa Monica with Naughty Dog that is their like equality person that makes sure that they are being fair in their games and everything like that. So he has to like sit down with her and make sure, you know, like they're being fair and everything. They're
Yep.
using enough women, enough black people, and I already haven't enough mix in there. So he's talking to her and about the story, and she's like, "Well, what about Nathan Drake's son? Because it was supposed to be a boy."
At the end of Uncharted 4.
I remember this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, and he was like, she's like, "Well, what if we made that a girl?" And he said like it really wasn't a big deal. He like thought about it for like 3 seconds. He was
I
like,
think he
"Does
asked
it make
like,
any difference the story at all?" Nope.
Nope.
Okay, whatever. Let's move on. Like
put
sure.
it in. Yep.
Who
Put it
gives
on.
a shit, yeah.
Yep.
Like somebody
But-
asked a question, it doesn't change anything. Cool, yeah, it works. Let's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
do it. Let's
Exactly.
make it happen.
I
If it
mean,
does,
Don't
change
do
some-
it to do it, but do it because
If
it
it
doesn't
does
matter.
change something, if it affects your story, then don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Can you
But
bring back that fucking list of the top games that were sold? Because
I'm sure I can.
what's sad too, though, is as somebody who actually gets paid just to make sure that this thing is in balance.
Like example.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Shouldn't be a job.
Call of Duty. Don't think there's too many love stories in that.
No.
As far as women being objectified, don't really think that happens because I'm pretty sure it falls in a universe where women are treated just if the fucking admiral is a woman, if I remember correctly. Isn't she like one of the captain of the other ship?
And the new one, I don't know.
The new one is a woman.
I haven't played it.
Okay, you have fucking people on your wing who are women who are just equals. She's just your fucking battle sister at that point. Like that's Starship Troopers shit right there. You know, like that's how it is. Where you have these fucking just like bathrooms where people are naked.
My favorite one is recently Battlefield 1. A bunch of people were outraged like there's no women in this game, and they were like, because we're making a World War I game.
No, there is women in that game. There was a Bedouin because the Bedouin have women, and the other group.
But that's a story, and history.
She's a main character too.
And the other group,
that.
the other group that fucking actually fielded women isn't even in the fucking game.
Now, if
The
you
Russians.
let's say you made a war game that's set like 2,000 years in the future, and there's no women in charge,
There'd be something wrong with that.
Like, unless you're like trying to play on that story, then why the hell did you do that? Like, why?
Okay,
You
so
don't
here we
think
go.
there would be?
Example, exactly. I just said Call of Duty is played in the future where everything just fucking reached a head
So let's
point
go through
because
this.
it
So-
follows what's happening now.
I imagine that's what would happen.
Yeah.
Like,
not a-
article
I'm
just
not a
broke.
also
Okay,
had that like one kid
so-
who was the beta tester. Remember that? Who was telling us about that? They had the one kid who was like beta testing the game.
Oh, yeah.
And he got to the end and saw that it was a girl, the daughter, and he like fucking was in the room with like 100 people on computers because they all do it at
and
the
like
studio.
threw a fucking fit.
He was like, "Oh no, you too, naughty dog," and Neil Druckmann was just like, "Get out,
Get
You
out.
can
Like, just
fucking
leave. Like, get
You're
the
like, you're
fuck
done.
out of here. We don't
Just,
need, like,
fired him.
this
It's
kind
not
of shit.
just not you two because having when people say that, number one, that just shows a level of fucking unintelligence, uncaring,
100%.
unlovable, and unethical.
Yeah.
100%.
Because you can believe whatever you want to fucking believe in. You can have anything because like I've said it a million times. We as gamers, we possess the uncanny ability to transcend this fucking trivial bullshit.
Yes, we do.
That's exactly it. No joke. Like, did that? They're just like, "Get out." Like, we
And
don't
then
have to
That's
why
exactly
are
what
you
they
doing
should have
that?
done.
Like, you can think whatever you want, but don't fucking do it in this industry. Get
Peace
the
out.
fuck out. Go do
You
whatever
have-
you want.
You can have well-written narratives on
Yep.
something, and like example, you can have an entire game about taking out like
Taking out the
secularism,
trash.
right?
About the what?
Secularism, taking
Okay.
out religion out of
Yeah.
politics and stuff. But as long as you don't openly say it, as long as you just hide it behind a veil of fucking allegory, you can actually have a well-written story. Now, if you made a fucking game where you're just blowing up fucking churches all goddamn day, that's fucking a little much. Like, stop it. We're not fucking retards. Like,
Yeah.
granted,
We're not-
I can go on fucking Steam and I can find both those games.
You're
right
not
fucking
trying
now.
to. Okay, so
It's
there's.
the same thing on movies though. Like when I watch like trash movies and like 30 minutes through it, like chicks are like flashing their tits, and my wife is like, "You don't watch this as boobs," and I'm like, "Boobs like mean nothing to me in the story if they're just there to keep my attention because the story is shit."
Yeah.
Like I don't care. If
Give
it's
me.
nudity,
I'd
like,
rather
I can
just watch a
porn
good
online.
fucking
Like,
story that's interesting and
there's
draws
lots
my
of,
attention.
Like, cheap like B-rated movies that do that. They
Yeah.
show nudity.
I wanna
because
go
they
over this-
can't
I was
fucking tell a
trying,
good
but you
story.
kept interrupting me. I was like, "Let's go over this." You're like, "No, I'm gonna fucking blah blah blah." I was like, "Let's do this." No.
So Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I would say, has a fair, accurate depiction of women.
Correct. Battlefield 1
There's a
has
Bedouin
an
one.
accurate-ish.
Yeah,
Yes.
accurate-ish.
Right?
Absolutely.
The Division.
I don't know in the other Bedouins in the background if there were too many other women, but that's up. I will say though that there was a part where one of the women, a man was going to rape her in the movie in the game. But,
Yes.
and I realized that's a very, very fucking tipsy-turvy fucking subject about do we put that in the fucking game? Will it happen in war? It doesn't mean it has to be in the game.
True,
It
but that
doesn't
is
have-
something that would
If they
have
wanted
might
to
have
tell-
It
happened.
doesn't have to be.
They
And
want to tell a
Agreed.
story.
that part
Agreed.
did not have to happen.
No, it didn't.
But okay,
Because it didn't progress the story at all.
Not at all.
And it had nothing to do. And so I.
But what it did
Does
was
it
it
put
made
you-
you
does
care
it-
more about the character.
correct.
No.
Yeah, if it makes you
either
care, if it makes
could
you
have showed
worry.
her family dying, you could have showed her husband get beheaded. You could have showed all those other things rather than her.
A lot of
It
that
doesn't
stuff.
matter, though. I don't
all
want to
that
avoid it. If they
all
want to tell that story, then
chose
tell a
to
story.
do was vilify the character even more. That's all that did. Was just vilify that guy even more, and that's all it was used for. And as a person who writes and a person who enjoys narrative, I don't think that carried the story. It wasn't a foil for the main character.
But on that
and
same
it was
point,
barely a foil for the villain because you already.
So it wasn't necessary. It was just in there for dramatic effect.
Exactly. They just-
but
so-
that is something that happens in real life, and like we were just talking about, even with just like sexism in video games, to just outright ignore something is not the right approach.
No, it's not the right approach, but putting it in there because when it doesn't carry any weight to it,
Then you're taking away from the real problem.
right.
You're distracting from the actual.
And so I don't,
problem with that,
it was implied, much like it was in the first Tomb Raider.
One of my favorite ones I always reference is Far Cry 3. Did you guys play that one?
God, yes.
Where
that
like,
one is like super intense.
but like not many people pick it up because they did it so like sleight of hand. But you leave your girlfriend with the guy in the house. It's kind of
the
crazy.
doctor.
The old man, yeah.
And then like she like gets really weird when you come visit her, and then you come back and the house is burning down, and they never explain what happened. But like,
Yep.
And she's just like really like not there in her
that's-
brain.
That's a
Like-
clever,
like
that's cleverly written
you
in.
can tell that he fucking like did something to her, and like
Yeah.
it makes you really
it's
like
dark.
whoa, like
Okay, so we
That carries the story forward.
you know, we're not going to go through the list then, because you don't want. You don't know. You don't even want to go through the list. I'm like, let's go. We're on number 2, and you're like, we already talked
No,
about
no,
number
no,
2
no,
like
okay,
an
what's
hour.
number 3?
But
What's
no,
number 3?
we don't want to fucking do it.
No, what's number 3?
The Division,
The Division.
which has a fair split of
Right.
men and women.
Absolutely.
The
In
Division,
fact,
yeah.
The person who like runs like
The
most
boss is a woman.
Most of the people who run the big part in the Division, most
Yep.
of them are women. It's actually mostly women. I
Yep.
would actually say.
We have NBA 2K17,
Man sport.
Madden NFL 17,
Man.
sport.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's
All male
debatable.
characters, but plenty of females.
I would say it.
Online is fair.
this one actually makes a good point. I like think it's interesting.
Steel Thunder.
Still Thunder says the topic is obviously showing how producers think about creating their game. For example, For Honor has females, where realistically there were no women warriors back in the times of samurai. Blah blah blah.
That is actually not true though, because all the women characters, go through and look at the women characters in For Honor. So
They were very rare on
But
the
there was
battlefield. Shield
Amazonians.
maidens were rare, but they were not common.
look at all of the. Go through and look at the 3 classes of women in. So
but that's not the point. Regardless if they were or not, do
Yeah.
you think they were put in there just because they're women, or do you think they're put in there
I think-
because that is actually cool?
no, I think it's
I
actually
think they
cool.
put it in there just because it's like if you want
you
to
think
play as
they-
a dude or a girl.
Well, see,
like,
no, the way it
Do you
is.
think they
so,
do you think they said like we need to put women in there? We're gonna force it in there and jam it in there somehow.
no, so if you look at it, right? So there's 3 sections or 3 factions.
Factions, yeah.
Each faction has 4 characters. There's 2 characters on each faction that you can be a man or a woman, and they're just like the base vanilla characters. They're just like, for the knights, it's just the standard fucking knight. And then there is 2 classes in each one that is specifically male and cannot be changed, and one that is specifically female and that cannot be changed. And they are specific. So like the Vikings, the warlord is a man. He is the warlord of the Vikings. He's a man. But the Vikings do have the Valkyrie class, which are portrayed as women.
Just to be clear too, like For Honor isn't meant to be super realistic.
It's
No.
not.
No.
It's not supposed
It
to
And
be.
exists.
besides, the Valkyrie is
It's
an
an
angel and not a real thing
It's an
anyway.
alternate timeline on like
It's
an island.
it
right?
takes place
Like,
where
In a
these
fantasy
places were
world.
taken. So maybe
It is
at the
fantasy.
start of
It
the
is
story,
fantasy.
It was realistic, but as the world progressed inside of this microcosm that they've created, the necessity
They had to change
to
things.
put females into combat came up because that in Viking times to everyone
They do kind of get themselves into that though. Like it looks very realistic.
In
where
Viking
you're like,
times
they didn't have that.
Women were barely ever put in the shield wall. However, they did go on raids.
They did.
They were put in at certain points out of necessity.
Correct.
But then
and much
on
like
the-
samurai culture, a lot of times they were left behind
Yep.
to run shit because they were in a very high place in society.
There were
Yep.
definitely no
But-
female samurai.
That is not true. There was the Nabushi. They weren't samurai necessarily.
Then that's what I just said.
They're not samurai.
But what they were is they were the women who ran the fields. But when people would come to attack and all the men were out fighting, guess what? They fucking suited up in armor with weapons and they fought for their homeland. They were the Nabushi. You can look up the Nabushi.
No, I know what they are. I know what they are.
In Japanese culture, that a samurai was considered taboo for them to touch money.
Weird.
And so you know who ran a household? Women ran
The women.
entire household.
But that's the thing, though. So the Nabushi, which are the female samurai class that can only be female in that game, they are only female. And
Hey,
that-
Robert
that
White.
isn't-
Are they using farm tools?
What's up?
Are
They
they-
are. They are using like scythes and stuff like that. That is.
Pitchfork?
They are built.
You're correct, Steel Thunder.
They are built that way. So those. And I'm not saying those aren't put in there
Not
with
unheard of.
some thought of like we want to have an equal diverse, but those characters were put in there fair. Honestly, my favorite fucking class in the whole game
I'm
is
sure
a
that-
fucking female
I'm sure there
class.
was-
It's the peacekeeper,
I'm
and
sure
that
they
class
have
is
a guy.
fucking
That's
awesome.
okay.
sure they have
Yeah,
a-
that's fine.
I'm sure they have a diversity advisor too that probably had some impact
Yeah.
on it. But I'm sure the
And
conversation.
I don't have any problem
I'm
with
sure
it.
part of the conversation they asked him like if we can do it, and they probably said it doesn't affect the game in a negative way. So
And I think that's exactly what happened. And we're talking about For Honor by
At
the
this
way.
moment, yeah, For Honor.
I think that's exactly what happened. Still Thunder is they basically looked and be like, okay, so we're fighting as all these dudes, but we're in this alternate world. What if we have women up there? And they're like, hey, that doesn't actually affect anything. And then
Yeah, so
eventually
do it.
they're working on classes and like, hey,
So-
we could actually have some classes that are built around being
Yep.
a woman, some built around being a dude.
Yep.
Who gives a shit? Like,
Yep.
yeah,
The
honestly, it's
peacekeepers.
not gonna
cares?
change the fucking game, man.
The
Not at all.
peacekeepers are female monks.
But like the opposite.
That's
spectrum
cool,
of
too.
that, if they made games where just like it's like
Well, that's
literally
also
like
something that wouldn't
perfectly
have happened.
diverse,
Yep.
like you can only play as like black, lesbian, hipster,
Yep.
fucking like the whole and everyone in that world is like that.
You mean
just
like
for a reason? Like
Saints Row?
yeah.
Yeah.
like
But
that-
did you
like,
guys
that's not
notice?
necessary.
Did you notice? So you guys have all seen the For Honor, the trailers for For Honor, correct?
Yeah,
you've
of
all
course.
seen them. Did you notice that the villain in the game is a
It's a
female?
woman? Yeah, of course.
Her name is Apollyon.
Yeah, and that
she's
doesn't
a
change the story at all.
She's a badass.
Yes,
she
she
is
is.
savage. She is literally pitting 3 teams against each other
she is.
to murder each other for her own gain.
But
That's
diversity-
in an
savage.
alternate dimension.
Yeah.
Microcosm.
Well, yeah, exactly. In a microcosm.
But like diversity for diversity isn't like. Do you guys think of Saints Row as a diverse game? Like, do you think
Nope.
it's moving the industry forward? Like,
Nope.
no, diversity for
It's not.
diversity's sake doesn't make it any better. You're just
Dubstep gum.
I also enjoyed. So at E3, somebody asked this exact question to the For Honor to the For Honor devs. Right? They asked them like, "We see that there is
No,
a
he can
strong
play whatever
female
he wants.
presence in this game. What drove you to add so many females to the game, to a fighting game, a game where females do not normally have a strong presence?" And he gave like the fucking best answer. He was just like, with the For Honor group here, we have a special name for female warriors, and it's warriors. And then just like that was it. That he just left it at that. Like to us, if it worked, if there was warriors who could fit into the game and fight and make
But
sense,
honestly, like before we talked
they
about
were
it today, I
warriors.
didn't really even pay attention to it. But now if like every single ad for For Honor was like, you can play as a woman,
Yeah.
and there's
Yep.
another woman, and here's another woman, I'd be like, really?
but see,
Like,
you haven't even
No,
noticed
it just
that.
introduces the classes. Introducing the Valkyrie. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, that looks fun to play.
That's a
as.
cool
when
looking
they
class.
mentioned that warrior comment while you were at E3,
Yep.
we made that a pretty large part of one of the podcasts because we were very excited about that and we thought it was great.
That's a
and it's
good
very
way to
helpful for
approach
pushing
it.
the
Yeah.
industry forward. But as Peter already said, it doesn't change the dynamic of the game. It doesn't affect anything. Don't do something just to do it.
Exactly.
Do it
So
because
honestly-
it fits.
Honestly, true equality is not even paying attention.
and at
to
the end of the
sex
day,
character.
at the end of this conversation, don't complain about something just to complain about it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where it loops back to.
Yes,
It's
it
like,
does.
Don't. So it is.
and Ashley Judd, mind
We're
your
not going
business.
to do it just because
It is
we
our
need to do it,
job.
and you
Yep.
shouldn't complain about it just because you can complain
Yeah,
about it.
because you're
Ooh.
bored and you have nothing else to do.
Exactly.
So you're trying to
Because
bring
it's popular
something up.
right
yeah.
now.
Fuck off. Like there is a lot of issues, and this is an
I had a
actual
crush on
issue.
her, too.
This is a real issue in the gaming industry
Yes,
and in
it
the
is.
world in general, right?
But she has no business being a part of it.
And or if she wants to be a part of it, you know what? That's fine. She can be a part of it, but be part of the solution, not part of just bitching. I don't
that's
want to
fair.
hear you bitch about
in
it.
That's
the
fair.
spirit of equality, before we move
Yep.
on, let's name one male character in video game that we are insanely attracted to as men.
Joel.
From
One man.
Last of Us.
one man.
Last of Us.
Or
Joel.
it doesn't have to be a man. It could be like mine's
No, Joel.
Garrus from Mass Effect.
He's hot too. But no, Joel, 100% Joel.
I'm attracted to his personality.
Yep. I'm attracted to Joel's pain.
Marcus Phoenix.
All right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
right?
You know what? I just finished Gears of War 4 story.
So good.
Fucking sick,
So good, right?
dude.
He's just like, I love his
Which
just
brings
like,
me
I don't give a
to-
fuck about anybody or what the fuck you care about or
You,
like,
you do realize that if you were with him, you'd totally be a bottom. There's no way you'd fucking.
I'd be a power bottom though.
I bet you're a strong ginger on the
Probably has a
inside.
jacked cock, dude. Like,
You're
Yes.
a strong ginger.
steroids.
No, but okay, for real though, as gamers, you guys, we are
you,
in.
didn't say anything.
I'm trying to think. I didn't
Peter's
really-
gonna think.
I didn't think. I'm
The
like,
dude from Stardew Valley.
Like I'm colorblind.
That's a good choice. Marcus Phoenix
I'm
is a
also,
good
like,
choice.
name blind. I don't remember names of
Yep.
most people in real life, let alone video games. That's not something like. I'd have
That's
to pay
because
attention.
of the food that they ate was with chemicals in it, but that's a
no,
whole other story.
we're in a very interesting medium here as gamers. We are part of a place that can be very progressive. We have a very big option, a very big chance to make a difference in gaming. And then obviously gaming represents a large portion of the population. It needs to start somewhere. If we can start these conversations, start having real conversations, start really addressing this as an issue and fixing it, not just pointing fingers, not just yelling, but actually fixing this problem.
But you do the best way you do that is like pointing out the games that do it well.
Yep.
And also calling out the people that do it bad.
Correct. And then we can make change. We can do something that's meaningful and not just bitch.
I
So
think that the conversation that for the game developers should come from within.
Yep.
But it's the same thing like with posting.
Thanks for the follow, Steel Thunder.
But please, as far as
with,
gamers go, do not think this is not a problem. I know here we try and be very middle ground. We try and really defend how we genuinely feel about the situation. But I know there is plenty of gamers who just blindly say like this isn't a problem because maybe they've never experienced it. Maybe they're males and they have a lot of male friends who don't necessarily, so they might not see it. Yeah, maybe none of their male friends ever do this to women. They never, push them out of the way. They never make them feel out of the gaming industry. But it is a problem. So it
doesn't
needs,
make it okay.
It doesn't make it okay.
doesn't.
So
And-
just
and
don't
there's-
avoid that it's not here because it is.
There's another side to that as well. And before we give our shout out, damn it just went away. But Shy was just saying, I'm a small redhead ginger dude. There's no demographic in gaming. Nobody, unless there's teenage characters, no one's using my morph type in gaming. Not everybody can be built like a linebacker. And 100% correct. He's a strong person, but he's not getting represented anyway because he's a small guy.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
that's totally
wanna
true.
Play
He'll
games
play
about
Saints Row.
gingers.
Well, that's besides the point.
New game.
Point is,
called Soulless.
so
That's
every
savage.
time you eat a soul, you get another
So,
freckle.
Shay, so basically, if I played Saints Row again, I'll just make you in the game. I'll play you.
He'll do it too. He'll do it.
No,
would
but
be a
seriously,
fucking badass.
I believe there's
I hope
one
you guys
more
enjoyed
thing.
that because, like I said, this is something like we'll always come back to this
That's
because
part
it's
of,
always
like,
going to be an
it,
issue.
Too, though. Saints Row is a perfect example. There's some things that I don't tolerate personally. Saints Row crosses the line for me in many places. So
Agreed.
I just don't buy it.
I don't play it either.
Some people have obviously a higher tolerance for that bullshit, but it's like I was gonna bring up Postal. Like Postal's pretty much the black sheep of the video game industry.
Own every post.
You own 75 copies of
Postal
Postal
is a
I do own
disgusting-
and tried to
every
give them all
copy
to
of
us.
Yeah, it is a disgusting game for disgusting people.
Yeah, that game is
Like,
garbage.
I'm human garbage.
And it's
by
pretty
the way.
much recognized throughout the entire community that studio is shunned and she just doesn't get
Yeah,
invited.
no, Run
anywhere,
with
doesn't
Scissors
like-
should fucking burn. The
Yeah.
fact that they're from Tucson sucks.
Yeah.
Also, if you want a copy of Postal 2,
Just let him know.
I know he like gifted it to me one day. I just got like, you got a gift from
Yeah,
Josh.
didn't
I was
you
like, oh,
return
cool.
it?
I like see it's
fucking-
Postal. I just returned it.
gifted everybody
Yeah.
on
I
my
swear-
fucking
Yes,
friends
you
list.
did.
I was like,
Yes, you
fucking
did.
Postal
Thanks, but no thanks. Not even for free.
Let's
Right.
get the song.
Mr. James Cunningham.
I don't recognize my name without a song.
It's
Right.
time for the developer.
We appreciate your hard work. Yes, Brandon.
Who's our developer of the week?
Our developer of the week, since you were just talking about it earlier, Gears of War 4, how it was badass, and I agree, it was very much badass. Lead writer for Gears of War 4, the first time he wrote for a video game ever. And if you played it, you know the story for Gears of War 4. They did a very good job continuing it on. Tom Bissell, born in Michigan and went to Michigan State, an American writer, journalist, and fiction writer. 2 of his novels were very, very popular, and they became independent films. But a fairly well-known video game book he wrote, Extra Lives, Why Video Games Matter. I've heard of that. I'm sure you guys have heard of it as well. He also won the Guggenheim Fellowship for Creative Arts, and his game ended up being nominated for Best Action Game and Best Multiplayer. So Tom Bissell, it was his first time writing for the gaming industry. He wrote a hit as far as I'm concerned. The story was quite good, and he was an author in books only prior to that.
Plus, he has a Guggenheim Award.
Indeed. That's a pretty big deal.
It's fun to say.
Did I not? I know I said that right. Guggenheim.
It's just fun to say. Guggenheim.
I agree.
No, but I agree. So, Gears of War 4 was fantastic. I have not turned my Xbox on. Short of Gears of War 4, I have not turned my Xbox One on
you
in
do. You can play it on
over a
PC.
year. What's up?
You can play it on your PC.
I know, but
But was not the story
I
legit?
put it on my Xbox. I played it on my Xbox. That game is fucking fantastic.
And we thought it was
is
going to be
so
like some
good.
shitty quasi-thriller.
What's up?
Not at all.
I got like 75% of it. Because Peter, when's the last time I finished
Story
a
of his
game?
life.
I'd
All right,
never-
well, you almost got to the end.
75%
It's
of
awesome.
like every
It's
fucking
really
game.
good.
But no, it's fantastic. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's actually one that I want to go back and finish, and I'm close enough to the end. And it's a fairly short story in
He just wants
relative.
It was like I did it in like 9 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Like relatively to like some of the other games I have, it is a short story.
Yeah. Have you?
so I
Okay.
go through
Okay.
and
Without
finish.
giving anything away, have you seen a mech yet?
Yeah.
Not the gorilla mechs. Something bigger.
No.
Okay. Then never mind. It's a Gundam.
Is it? Cool.
Kinda.
God, I love that.
I'm making
It's
that
kind of
fucking
fucking
much.
No, the game was super good. That's really cool that was his first story though.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah.
First story.
It was his first video game story ever.
story.
Video
Okay,
game writing.
good.
That's really cool.
And the video game went on to be nominated for 2 awards.
Yeah, I hope to see more
Yeah,
coming
me
from
too.
him in the future.
We're definitely going to get more Gears of War now.
Yeah.
I hope
absolutely.
that character customization becomes standard at some point. I honestly sidebar. I hope they just get rid of character customization.
Unless it's unless it's a game like Fallout or something
Not
like
even
that.
that. No, I
that's
don't even care.
fine.
Just
Random
No.
gender,
Even if-
skin color, or just random.
Before I even look at yourself,
that might
It's
be
true.
fun.
It's
That might
true.
be fun.
And honestly, you
you're
just
telling me the
coat yourself
story.
in
You tell
armor.
me what they look like, and I'll
Yep.
play as them. I don't need to play as myself. Like,
He's not with Epic. He's with Coalition Games because Epic no longer makes Gears of War. Coalition Games does now.
Epic got dissolved, didn't they? Didn't
Yeah,
they
the
exist?
Epic has been dissolved. Yeah.
They basically got
when
They
when
took a bunch of
Microsoft
people
bought
from
it away
different
from them.
studios
they
and
just
made
got
a new studio.
assimilated into
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Where did
coalition.
that fucking douchebag Cliff Blazinski get off to?
He's doing something else very secretive right now.
Because that Lawbringers game went well.
Cliffy B.
Yeah, that game did
Don't call it
terrific.
Cliffy B.
You know what's weird? We haven't heard anything about yet is Red Dead.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hiding out for
Yeah.
so long, and like I thought we'd hear
Anyways.
something at some point, but we just didn't hear anything.
Hey, thank you so much. You're right, beautiful game. I was gonna say games, but
Thanks, Tom
singular
Bissell.
game. And your sweet award that I forgot the name. of.
Guggenheim.
Guggenheim Award.
has he written any like big movies?
Super sweet.
He
wrote two
of his
books.
books. 2 of his novels became basis for independent films. I did not add that to my list. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
I'll
All
look
right,
him up
Peter.
later.
I'm gonna kick you out
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
I gotta go push the
podcast.
thing because
We're done looking at Peter, you guys. I'm doing you all a
Bye.
solid.
Peter's outta here.
Hey, is Arctic Games still in chat?
I think he
Because
left earlier.
That sucks that he left because he said that he had a Gundam Endless Waltz perfect grade, and I know that's a 1/100 fucking scale and absolutely insane to build.
And do you want it?
Yeah, he's
Is
not
that
in
what you're
right now.
saying?
No, fuck no.
Don't
Is that what
panic.
you're
Red 9
saying?
Delta.
I need a
Shy.
little paint.
Hey, Shy 1999. Give us a
what you're
follow,
saying?
bud. Steel Thunder. Thank you for the follow. And
what you're
Taylor,
saying?
I'll see you soon.
Is that what you're saying, sir? Sir?
I'll see you soon.
So much. And we'll catch you guys next Monday.